Hi guys, welcome to today's video.
Hi everyone.
Today I'm going to be asking my dad, who is a college professor, questions that students want to know. So I am home for Christmas break, so I thought I would film a video with my dad. And we're wearing matching Christmas pajamas because it's Christmas tomorrow, it's Christmas Eve when I'm filming this. He's also really excited to be here. Okay, Dad, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is George. I teach at Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, Virginia. I am a music professor there. I've been doing this for over 20 years now.
Okay, well, let's get into it. What is the most ridiculous excuse that you've heard for a class or an assignment?
A student once came to me and said they left their window open at night, and in the morning a squirrel crawled in and they had to chase it out of the house before they could leave, and that's why they were late for class.
Pretty good excuse. Did you accept it though?
I accepted. What could I say? It was good. If it wasn't true, it was pretty creative. So I had to give him that.
Do you actually look forward to office hours or do you dread them?
I dread them because nobody shows up.
Dad, that's sad.
Yeah, I put them out there and I wait and nobody comes.
What is one thing that you wish students would stop doing in your class?
I wish they would stay off their phones while they're in class because it's distracting to the professor and it's disrespectful. Okay. They also can't be learning well if they're on their phones.
How much do you judge us when we ask you if something's going to be on the test?
I'm done judging because I hear that question so many times.
Really?
It just goes in one ear and out the other, and I just roll my eyes. And when they see me do that, then they know the answer.
Yeah, but at least students want to know what's going to be on the test, and like they want to be prepared, you know?
I like that they care enough to ask.
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it.
Do you get annoyed when a student asks you to round up their grade?
I get annoyed when they ask me to round up their grade because usually they're asking because they have not earned it. And I want them to earn their grade. If they're close, I'll give them that benefit of the doubt.
Okay, but what if they have worked really hard and they have like a 99.9%?
Sure, I'll give them that extra 0.1%. 99 and 100 is going to be an A anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay, but what if they have like a B or a C and they just need like 1 more percent to get to the next letter grade? What would you do?
I think if it's in 1%, I would do that because there's always a possibility that there was a mistake in calculating a grade on one of their tests. In those cases, I would give them the benefit of the doubt if it's within 1 point.
Okay,
I think that's
fair.
reasonable.
Yeah. Do you actually care if students come to class?
Yes, I care. Of course I care. I want them to like the class. I want them to like what I'm teaching, what I have to say, because it means a lot to me. I want it to mean a lot to them.
But you know
anybody
that
would.
You know that most of them are there because they have to be there, not because they want to.
That's not what they tell me.
I don't know, Dad.
Everyone that shows up tells me they want to be there. Maybe they want that extra 1% at the end of the semester. I don't know.
Well, you can keep believing that. Keep telling yourself that.
We got to keep believing.
Okay, Dad, you're so cringy. Can you tell when we're pretending to take notes but we're actually on TikTok?
That's a hard one. I have not mastered that yet.
Dad, show them your mug. What does it say?
Dad's favorite mug.
Dad's
on
favorite
this side.
mug. If there's a group project and someone's not pulling their weight, do you secretly know who it is?
No. Most of the work is done outside of class in that case. So I don't know. When you see the final product, you're judging it holistically for what it is and what's there. And sometimes it's hard to tell who put in the most work and who didn't. The other time is when somebody comes to you and says that somebody's not pulling their weight, but usually students aren't brave enough to do that.
But you're like a little too professory right now. You need to be a little more funny.
Okay.
Do you actually count absences and stick to the attendance policy?
Yes, I do. I take attendance and I record it.
But if they have too many, will you actually like enforce a policy or punish them for it?
I'll enforce the policy through their grade, and that's usually how it's enforced. It's very clear in the syllabus, and I remind them when they're getting close to that limit.
So do you say that you follow the policies in your syllabus pretty closely?
I think I follow them pretty closely, yes.
If a student cheats, do you actually report them?
I will report them if it's serious. If it's not, I will have a discussion with them. They just know, if you know, that they shouldn't do that again. But if it continues, I will report them. And I have. One time I went before a board and had
You're a
to
snitch.
discuss this. I'm a total snitch.
You're a snitch.
I could be, but yeah, it was very serious. I felt bad about that though.
You felt bad for the students?
I felt bad for the students and bad that I did it, but I'm also glad that I did it. It was strange. It was weird, but it had
Why
to be
was
done.
it weird?
Because it had to be done. They were resisting me every step of the way, and I had no choice but to report them. And then at the same time, I felt bad for them because it really wasn't worth it for them to cheat. They probably would have done okay in the class. They ended up getting a warning from the university.
How can you tell if a student cheats?
If it's in class, I look at their body language. If they're sitting close to each other, they're looking at each other's papers, they're sending some kind of signals. It doesn't have to be much, but you can tell. You can also look at their exams or their assignments afterwards. If their answers match, you can tell that they've been collaborating. Also, if they haven't done well in the class and then suddenly they get an A on something, something's up. But I think you have to have more than that to be able to accuse somebody of cheating.
Can you tell when we use ChatGPT on things?
Yes, because no human being would write some of the words that come out of ChatGPT.
Do you think it's wrong for professors to cold call on their students?
I think it depends on the class. I think for a large lecture, I wouldn't do that. In most large lectures, the professor doesn't know individual students. They don't know their names. They don't know anything about them. So a student may not be speaking up because of something that has anything to do with the class. And I wouldn't want to put that student in that situation.
Do you judge us when we show up to class in pajamas?
Well, I think that's a tough one given that we're both wearing our pajamas right now, don't you think?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I could say, but no, I don't. Not at this point because so many people are doing it.
It's pretty normalized in college now, right?
Just move along, yeah.
Yeah. Do you get excited when someone actually reads the syllabus?
I get excited when they read the syllabus, yes. Because it's so rare, it doesn't happen.
But you also make your syllabus like 20 pages long. So like I wouldn't read that if I was your student.
Well, we have to. We're required to include certain information.
Why do professors say that textbooks are required when they're really not? And I know you do this with your class too.
Because I think it gives a lot of structure to the class. It allows the professor to speak about the subject material, and it gets reinforced in the textbook when students read from the textbook as a part of the assignment.
But students aren't reading from the textbook.
Well, they should. The students that are most successful are those that come to class and take notes and then also read the textbook.
Do you ever feel like you're a personal therapist for your students?
All the time. I wasn't prepared for this. They tell me more than I need to know, and I just sit there and I do the best that I can. So I've given a lot of life advice. I don't know if it's all been right.
So you double as a teacher and possibly like a therapist for them.
Yeah, a teacher and a therapist.
What is the most outrageous thing that you've heard during office hours?
I think the most outrageous thing I've heard has involved students telling me their health problems in detail, which I won't go into here.
How often do you get the "sorry I overslept" excuse when a student's late for class?
Get that all the time. It gets kind of old. I sometimes ask them, "Look, come on, can you do better than that?"
Can you come up with a more creative excuse?
Yeah, if you have a more creative excuse, maybe I'll let it go.
Okay, do you think your students actually enjoy your class?
I think they all enjoy my class.
Really?
Why would I get up in the morning and go do the class if I didn't think they enjoyed it?
Okay.
'Cause I enjoy it, so I assume they enjoy it. That's what I have to assume.
Okay.
Keeps me going.
Is it awkward when you see students like not in class, like in public or around campus?
Yeah, you know what's weird? It's like they don't It's like they don't see me. I know they see me, but they pretend like they don't.
Because they're ignoring you. They don't.
I mean, they're walking around like this without doing this, and they're looking straight ahead. And I jump out in front of them and say, "Hey!" And they
yeah. Well, I would probably be ignoring you too.
I think it's strange to see somebody and not say hi, somebody that you know.
What makes you not like a student?
I think if they're disrespectful to the professor and they expect you to give them a better grade because they need a better grade, not because that they work for it. I don't really dislike them as people, but I dislike that behavior. Do you want some advice?
What?
Do you want some advice
about what?
From a professor?
Sure. Give me a piece of advice.
Number one, it's important to go to office hours.
Okay, yeah.
Number two, it's important to get to know your professors. Depending on your field, you might need a recommendation letter from that professor someday. Number three, it's important to ask for help early in the semester if you're struggling.
Those are 3 really good pieces of advice.
Do I have more?
Okay, that's for another video.
Okay.
I'm forcing my family to be in all these videos over winter break.
It's a lot of pressure.
Well, that's the end of the video. Dad, do you want to do the outro for me?
Oh, thank you for watching.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
And I'll see you next time.
And I'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.